case, there's nothing to talk about. It's like you might as well be arguing with a schizophrenic who thinks that he's an Egyptian pharaoh in the year 2000 BC.
Come on, Maddie.
So I'm hesitant to even talk about this because I don't really want to give it.
Hey everybody, this is Dean FM, Dean Fraser Milford here for your creature comfort. And today I wanted to do another reaction video. This one's going to be to trans activist mocks injured teen athlete. That is quite a title. So we're going to see it's about the channel Matt Walsh. He's a conservative, Republican, candidate, whatever you call it. He's been rude. We're just going to get right into this. Please make sure to check out all my stuff. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Congress on Tuesday, Donald Trump touted his executive order banning men from playing in women's sports. He also highlighted just a few of many examples of women being harmed by the inclusion of trans-identified males in their sports league. One of the victims is a young lady named Peyton McNabb, who had been specially invited by the president. He gave her a shout out during the speech.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Let's see that again.
Yeah, she's looking all cute.
I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports. Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose.
They're gonna try.
They're gonna try funding.
They're gonna try for their life. Yep. You look great, girl. You look great. You look great. We're all doing the great. We're all doing great things up in this place with the transgender, the nice running up in our face. Yeah. Whatever the hell. This man is insane. And this girl, yeah, we get it.
A moment highlighting a girl who is not, or never intended to be, a conservative activist. She's just a girl who wanted to play volleyball, but ended up severely injured in the process.
Family's background.
Now, the video of the injury is quite gruesome, and Trump's rapid response team tweeted it out on Tuesday night as Trump was talking about it. And that's what provoked a response from a woman named Emma Vigeland. If you've never heard of Emma, which would be understandable, most people have never heard of her, but she is a far-left talking head co-host a YouTube show called The Majority Report. Now, their show is irrelevant. Nobody cares about it. Nobody talks about it. It has no cultural impact at all. The only reason that I know of their existence personally is that they have done approximately 10,000 segments about me, constantly begging for my attention, which I'm sure fills them with indescribable glee. So I'm hesitant to even talk about this because I don't really want to give this pathetic, irrelevant woman the attention she desperately craves. But it also exposes an essential truth about the pro-trans side. So I think it's worth discussing for that reason. So yesterday,
side is the right for me to
in response to the video of a teenage girl being severely injured during the volleyball match, Emma posted
that's terrible. That's what happened
very simple response. She wrote, ha 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 ha. This is Emma laughing hysterically at a video of a girl sustaining a brain injury at the hands of a male athlete. To be clear again, Peyton McNabb, at the time when this injury happened, was not an activist. She was not a political person. She was just a girl playing volleyball.
Are you sure?
It's not like Emma's laughing because in her mind some conservative activist got their comeuppance, you know. It's not like this is a video of Robbie Starbuck slipping on a banana peel or me falling down the steps. I'm quite sure that would provoke laughter from Emma and her fellow leftists, justifiably, in fact. That would be kind of funny.
There's no laughter here, but we know what the world is giving us. We know how these sort of things are played out. People using other people as token examples to waste time, basically. We're familiar with that all too well. We live in a very unfair world, and as you can see, we're clearly being treated as the worst of society. We definitely are, and I say we again because though I am a genderqueer male, a feminine gay male, I am also somebody who aligns myself with the transgender community because I am somebody who helps out in many spaces, volunteers, and is a part of myself, and very much so regularly active, somebody who wants to get more involved in politics. For the first part, I don't remember being involved in a demonic initiation. Ridiculous. But they want this to be held out for as long as possible. They want to hold on to this idea as long as they can.
This is different. This is a 17-year-old high school student receiving a violent blow to the head and getting seriously injured in the process. Emma finds that hysterically funny.
No, there's nothing funny about it.
It's just
irritating. What do you want
from me? It's really no
surprise.
surprise. This is not someone who is terribly thoughtful or intelligent when it comes to this issue or any issue. Here she is on her show a little while ago articulating her case for allowing men to compete against women And I couldn't find the original video on Emma's channel, so I'm pulling this from this clip from a video on the channel Actual Justice Warrior, which you should check out to hear his take on this as well. Here is Emma.
I'm actually not bad about this. I'm 100% right on this. I don't give a shit about the scientific explanations. People, if they identify as a woman, get to compete in sports. If that's not fair in the short term for a variety of little competitions, I don't give it because the societal interest of including trans people in society trumps stupid competition. Full stop. So I'm right about this. You're wrong about this.
We leave it up to the scientists. Unless you are fully versed in scientific knowledge of trans medicine, people in sports, master of testosterone and hormone, that's somebody who should be speaking on it. It doesn't sound like that person had exactly that knowledge, because that person was throwing off the basis for this. And if there is a concern that is scientifically backed, that there should be a way to implement that, but yelling at each other, all this hate, calling people cringy, attacking trans high school students, and that's trash and that's garbage.
Damn about the scientific explanation. She also doesn't care about fairness in sports. She's on the record saying that neither science nor fairness matter to her. Being a husband, father, and host of my own show means life never slows down. Imagine trying to eat 31 different nutritional fruits and vegetables. Okay. By the way, the woman who laughs at the idea of fairness in sports and calls them stupid little competitions did just recently attempt to launch her own sports network.
That person has
ESVN, the
no
Emma Sports
Vigeland
Network, which I'm pretty sure is not meant to be a joke, was launched on YouTube almost 3 years ago. It currently has 16,000 subscribers. That's 1/6 in 3 years. And I guess now we know why her sports network flopped. Well, it flopped because she's a miserable, shrieking, humorless nag. And also because nobody wants to hear sports analysis from somebody who thinks that sports are stupid little competitions. I mean, that's like me starting a channel for anime reviews. Although, if I did, I'd guarantee I'd get more than 16,000 subs in 3 years. That's just humiliating.
Sure.
But in any case,
you would.
There isn't much that can be said to debunk Emma's position on the trans sports topic. She's already stated up front that science and fairness are irrelevant. So it's like trying to discuss the solution to a math equation with somebody who declares at the outset that the basic rules of arithmetic don't matter.
The Walsh talking, you know.
Like, if that's the case, there's nothing to talk about. It's like you might as well be arguing with a schizophrenic who thinks that he's an Egyptian pharaoh in the year 2000 BC. This is somebody who has completely divorced herself from reality. You can't debate her because debating requires...
Oh, boy. Ableism, every ism was on deck here, huh? Oh, man.
In the same universe, if not, preferably the same planet. But Emma lives in a fantasy universe of her own making, where the laws of science are suspended and superseded by the desires of trans people. The only thing that matters to Emma, and she's clear about this, is how a trans person feels. The question of whether trans-identified males should compete against women is, to her, not a scientific question, not a question of fairness, or a question of common sense.
You keep talking about men, and then you revert back to the 17-year-old. We're going to be talking about men, and we're going to be talking about the situation that you're talking about here. But there's a lot of trans youth who are going to be very hurt from this conversation. And it's, at the very least, you don't have to talk about it and play a part in it. These are just children. To be honest, for that girl to even have been put on the spot like that and to be kind of used as this figurehead for this ridiculous agenda that they've been pushing for dear life. They've really been holding on to the trans issue for dear life, and it's really hurtful. The fact that to begin with was even a argument. I hate to break it to you, no matter what gender you think that person is, what you think of somebody in sports, we don't need to be rude to everybody else. Does he understand how much he's been portrayed as this disruption to the real American dream, whatever that is? We're just here. So while I do agree that we shouldn't say at any circumstances, throw out the science, that's not how that works. I think that he knows that not everybody thinks that, and he's just using one person as an example. What could you do about that specifically? The trans sports issue should be definitely something that is talked about by those who know what they're talking about. Where this person is coming from, the rage that they're coming from, the defensiveness that they are coming from. Would I say that it is not understandable? No, I'm sorry. Doesn't mean we can say everything under the sun, but still. There's a lot of reasons why somebody would be lashing out at everything. And I think that, even me, I feel like I found myself lashing out at each and every person after Trump won the election, because it's like, you don't know who's around you. I kind of had to train myself back into people haven't changed. There hasn't been some MAGA switch that's been turned on in America and everybody just, it's not the case yet. And I think that there's still a lot of hope hope for this country and the people in this country, including the LGBTQIA plus community. And that's it for this video. I don't really want to say anything else about this video. I think that he pretty much said what he's going to say about that. Maybe I'll make a part 2 if it's really wanted, but that's all I'm going to say. I never have to torture myself. I never have to torture my audience. And please have a nice day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.